ki jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Vishtam Vishnupar Ashutar Shita Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev ki jai. Nityalila Prabhishtam Vishnupar Ashutar Shita Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Prabhishtam Vishnupar Ashutar Shita Shishmar Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalila Prabhishtam Vishnupar Ashutar Shita Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Raghunath Sharda Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Bhadata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki jai. Shri Muna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Jai Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura ki jai. Tadya Shiva Avirbhav Titi ki jai. Jai Shri Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's mother, Narayani Devi ki jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Shri Shriman Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, everybody. One second, let me just. All right, Hare Krishna. Let's see, Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji, Satya Mataji, Hare Krishna, Sarveshwari Mataji, Haribo, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Gauranga Prabhu, Vidya Lala Sadidi, and Kishore Prabhu. It's been a while, Kishore. Haribo. Dandavat pranams, everybody. And also pranams to everybody watching in the future. All right, so this morning, well, okay, I made a really pretty thumbnail on the YouTube video, but I actually didn't really make a plan for this reading today. I was thinking this morning, I thought maybe we can read the life sketch of Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura written by Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And so then I went looking for it and I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked on Folio, I looked all over the internet. I tried to find the Kindle book. That didn't, I think, because I've seen it before. I've read it in English. I think they had a Kindle book before for Chaitanya Bhagavat, and it was in that. But the Kindle book doesn't seem to be available on Amazon anymore. So after a long time of looking unsuccessfully, I thought maybe I can just read straight from the Bengali. And so that's what I was doing just now. And so I was just reading through the Bengali just to make sure that I could translate it on the spot like that. I mean, like translate it like that, but I didn't fully finish it. And so I don't know, maybe we can just, maybe we can look through that article, look through Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's life sketch and just like read certain parts of that. And sorry, I started this all like half an hour before I went live just now. I mean, like looking at the Bengali, and yeah, some of it was a bit difficult. But anyhow, maybe we can just first we'll go to Vishuddha Chaitanya Vani. That's Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj's the website with all of his Harikatha. And let me make this window. Let's see. Yep, there's an article. And then also maybe we can read something about Ekādaśī. There's a really nice thing from Srila Śrīla Goswami Maharaj. I've read it a few times here before, but it's so nice. I'd like to read it again. And also maybe we can read some section of Chaitanya Bhagavat if there's any section anybody would like me to read. So we'll just, yeah, you tell me what you'd like me to do. This will be kind of a fun, spontaneous program. All right. Before we begin, though, let's read the glories of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat and Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ore Mura Lok Shuno Chaitanya Mangal. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 8, verses 33 to 42. Maybe I'll read the translation and then the Bengali so that you can understand what we're reading, understand the Bengali. So, oh fools, just read Chaitanya Mangal. By reading this book, you can understand all the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ore Muralok Shuno Chaitanya Mangal. Chaitanya Mahima Jate Jani Be Shakal. As Vyasadeva has compiled all the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Lila Bhagavate Kohe Ved Vyas, Ṭhākura Vṛndāvana dāsa has depicted the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Lila Vyas, Vṛndāvana dāsa. This is the Srila Prabhupada's translation. I mean the BPT translation. Okay, Ṭhākura Vṛndāvana dāsa has composed Chaitanya Mangal. Vṛndāvana dāsa Koilo Chaitanya Mangal. Hearing this book, Jahar Shravane annihilates all misfortune. Nashe Sarva Amangal. Jahar Shravane Nashe Sarva Amangal. By reading Sri Chaitanya Mangal, one can understand all the glories and truths of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. Chaitanya Nitara Jate Janiye Mahima, and come to the ultimate conclusion of devotional service to Lord Krishna. Jate Jani Krishna Bhakti Siddhantere Sima. In Sri Chaitanya Mangal, Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura has given the conclusion and essence of devotional service. Bhagavate Jata Bhakti Siddhante Resar. I would have. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the translation. I'm just gonna read the translation, not do this whole thing. In Sri Chaitanya Mangal, Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura has given the conclusions and essence of devotional service by quoting the authoritative statements of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavate Jata Bhakti Siddhante Resar Likhiyachen Iha Jani Koriya Udhar. If even a great atheist hears Sri Chaitanya Mangal, he immediately becomes a great devotee. Chaitanya Mangal Shune Jadi Pashandi Javan Sheho Maha Vaishnav Hoy Totokon. The subject matter of this book is so sublime that it appears that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally spoken through the writings of Sri Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura. Manushe Rachite Nare Aiche Granta Dhanyam Vṛndāvana dāsa Mukhe Vakta Sri Chaitanya. Oh, this part wasn't translated. It says Manushe Rachite Nare. Such a glorious scripture as Chaitanya Bhagavat, Manushe Rachite Nare, was not written by a human being. It's Vṛndāvana dāsa Mukhe, through the mouth of Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, Vakta Sri Chaitanya. It was the Vakta, the speaker, was Sri Chaitanya through the mouth of Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura. This is not just a scripture written by any human being. It's actually spoken by Sri Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through the mouth of Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura. That's what it says here. Okay. I offer millions of obeisances unto the lotus feet of Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura. Vṛndāvana dāsa pore koti namaskar. No one else could write such a wonderful book for the deliverance of all fallen souls. Aiche Grantha, such a scripture. Kori teho tari la sangsar. No one could have written such a book that would. Anyways, yeah. Translation's a little bit different than the Bengali. Narayani eternally eats the remnants of the food of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Narayani Chaitanyar Uchishta Bhajan. Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura was born of her womb. Tar garbe janmila Shridasa Vrindavan. So Narayani is Chaitanyar Uchishta Bhajan. Bhajan means let's just look up the word bhajan really quick. Bhajan is like, usually I see it as the recipient. Yeah, bhajan means recipient. I don't even need to look that up. So Narayani is the recipient of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Uchishta, his remnants. And in her womb, Vṛndāvana dāsa was born. What a wonderful description he has given of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Tar ki arbhuta Chaitanya charita varnan. Arbhuta, what a wonderful description. Varnan, he's given of Chaitanya's pastimes. Charita, Chaitanya charita. Anyone in the three worlds who hears it is purified. Jahar Shravane Shuddha Koilo Tribhuvan. Okay, now here's a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 4, verse 5. By nature, all the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very wonderful and sweet. Sahaje Vichitra Madhur Chaitanya Vihar. And when they are described by Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, they become like a shower of nectar. Vṛndāvana dāsa mukhe amriter dhar. All right, so let us see. Jai Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. All right, so let's make this big so that you can all see. Actually, I think I'll just copy this onto a Word doc. That would be best. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, wow, this is a long glorification. Maybe this will just take up the whole reading. Okay. But yeah, what I was reading from Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and Chaitanya Bhagavat is very interesting because it's very, you get to, like, he explains very clearly what the time was like during Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, what all the things that he had to face, all the, let's make this big. Yeah, it was a very rough time during Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura. And it makes a lot of his writings, it makes a lot more sense after reading that, like why he was pushing back against the sons of Advaita Acharya so much. And yeah, this gives some context to his writings. Okay, so Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, June 3rd, 2024 is the appearance day of Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura in Vrindavan, India. The following is an excerpt from a Bhav Anuvad of the Katha given by Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj on his disappearance tithi on April 9th, 2010. Srila Maharaj would invariably recite the following two verses from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, glorifying Mahaprabhu with great feeling in his invocation prayers on the appearance as well as disappearance tithi of Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura. Then, before beginning the katha, he would say, With these verses only, I offered my prayers to Sri Chaitanya Dev today. So this is the very first verse of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Ajanulambita bhujau kanakavadato sankirtanai kapitaro kamalaya taksho vishvambharo dijavaro yugadharma palo vande jagat priyakaro karunavataro. Sorry. I offer my respects unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, whose arms extend down to their knees, who have golden yellow complexions, and who inaugurated the congregational chanting of the holy names. Their eyes resemble the petals of a lotus. They are the maintainers of all living entities. They are the best of Brahmins, the protectors of religious principles for this age, the benefactors of the universe, and the most merciful of all incarnations. Okay. Now here's the second verse of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. And this verse is also is the second verse of every kanda. It's the second verse of the Adi Kanda, Madhya Kanda, and Antya Kanda. Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cha Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha. O Lord, who exists eternally in the three phases of time, O Son of Sri Jagannath Mishra, O Lord, accompanied by your servants, sons, and wives, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Oh, and this verse is very important. I just want to quickly go to, let's look this verse up in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Here. All right. So the first verse has a very long commentary. Where's the second verse? Okay. So I just want to see the translation for the second verse. Where is it? Okay, there, Anubad. So Namastrikala Satyaya. Hey Prabhu, apni bhutta bhavishyat o vartaman. So in the past, in the present, and in the future, etin kale satya. In these three times, you are the absolute truth. I just wanted to see what it says, putragan. So see, it says that, O Lord, you're accompanied by your servants, sons, and wives. So what does servants, what does bhritya and putra and kalatra, what do these three things refer to? What do the servants, the sons, and wives refer to? So Śrīla Saraswati Ṭhākura Prabhupada, he says, putragan, that means what is it? Putra parjay grihita tyakta griha goswami prabriti shishya ganer athava Krishna Sankirtan namak abhidheya visheshar. Okay, so his sons are the Takta Griha Goswamis. So the Goswamis who have left their houses, Prabriti, and so on. So like the renounced devotees, like the Goswamis who have left their homes. And also, Putra, his sons, refers to Krishna Sankirtan. Just like we read in the first verse, it says, Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksha, right? So Mahaprabhu, Gauranitai, they are the Pitas, they are the fathers of Sankirtan. And so in this verse, it says that his son, his putra is Sankirtan. Did I skip the, Oh, sorry, but before Putra comes Bhritya. So Bhritya refers to, it just says Bhaktagan. Okay. I thought I remember reading, maybe it's in the commentary. I thought I remember it saying something like his Grahastha disciples also though. And then the Putra was like the Goswamis who left their homes. I thought I remember reading that, but maybe I could be wrong. Okay, so that's Bhritya and Putra, and now let's see Kalatra, his consorts. So Kalatra means Bhu Shakti Sarup, Bhu Shakti Sarup Shri Vishnu, sorry, Bhu Shakti Sarupa Shri Vishnu Priya. Okay, so it's Vishnu Priya who is the Bhu Shakti. Then Shri Shakti Sarupa Shri Lakshmi Priya. And then Lila Nila Vadurga Shakti Sarupa Shri Navadip Dham. Okay, so Vidhi Vichare. So according to Vidhi, and I don't know, I think I would say like the path of Archan or Vaidhi Marg. That's how I understand that. So according to the path of Archan or Vaidhi Marg, like that. So Kalatra refers to Vishnu Priya Devi, Lakshmi Priya Devi, and it refers to Navadip Dham. And so Bhu, Shri, and Lila Nila Vadurga. Huh. Okay, so then according to Ruchi Vichar, so Ruchi Vichare, and I'm guessing Ruchi is kind of like the path of Rag, you know, path of Bhajan. Then it refers to Shri Gadadhar Dwaya. So the two Gadadhars, that's Gadadhar Pandit and Gadadhar Das, and Narahari Sarkar Thakur, and Ramananda, Rai Ramananda, Jagarananda, and so on. The Shakti Varga, sorry. Yeah, so it's interesting, huh? Very deep, these three words. Okay. Sorry, guys, I'm going a bit slow. Let's just read now. Okay, so today is a special day, the disappearance day of Patit Pavan Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura. The appearance and disappearance days of Vaishnavas are equally significant because both inspire their remembrance, which brings about all auspiciousness to the living entities. Narayani Sutta Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura. Traditionally, people would identify themselves with their father's name. However, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura addressed himself as Narayani Sutta, owing to the fact that his connection with Sri Chaitanya Dev was not through his father, but through his mother Narayani, who was graced by Sri Chaitanya Dev when she was only 5 years old. Narayani is the daughter of Srivas Pandit's brother. She was residing in Srivas Pandit's house when Mahaprabhu first began performing Sankirtan there behind closed doors. Upon discovering that some envious atheists had complained to the Muslim government officials with an intention to put him behind bars for wreaking havoc during the nightly Sankirtan performed at his house, Srivas became anxious. Despite Mahaprabhu's reassuring words, that being the supreme controller, he would inspire the perpetrators within their heart not to cause any harm to Srivas, Srivas was not fully convinced. Hence, Mahaprabhu decided to prove himself by commanding the 5-year-old niece of Srivas, so his 5-year-old niece, Shri Narayani Devi, to weep in Krishna Prem, and instantaneously she drowned in the ecstasy overcome by Krishna Prem. Seeing this astonishing occurrence, everyone was reassured. Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura is her son. Having lost his father when he was just a child, he resided at his maternal grandparents' home along with his mother. And I think, let's just see, 1 second. Where did it say in this life sketch? Okay, so Shri Gurasundarer Navadip Pariharer Kiyatkal Purve Thakur Mahashayar Mata Narayani Chari Vatsar Voyasher Balikad Matra. So Narayani Devi was only 4 years old when Mahaprabhu left Navadvip. And okay. And then she moved to her father's house. Sorry, she moved to Pitralai, Korea. Okay, I thought it gave the exact age. That is said he was 10 years old when when they moved to, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so in those days, the Brahmins were accustomed to follow strict rules and regulations. However, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura was unconcerned with such considerations. The Brahmins even objected to Nityananda Prabhu giving mercy to Udaran Datta, who belonged to the merchant class. Yet no one dared to speak anything objectionable before Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, who, by the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, fearlessly explained in his writings how in Kali Yuga, demons take birth among Brahmin families to raise objections and present counter-arguments. It was quite extraordinary to be so bold in those days. Beyond contributing through his writings, he fearlessly propagated the unadulterated scriptural doctrines. So this is just explaining one thing, like one unfavorable circumstance that was like, but there were a bunch that Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada gave here. Like these were all the opposition that Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura faced, and all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas actually. The Smartas were really, seemed like very prominent at that time. And I guess that's why this became a dark period of, right after the Mahaprabhu's time. It was because of the influence of the, see, look, it says, where is it? Okay. Jai Shamoy Advaita Prabhur Putra Balaramir Santan Madhusudanir Putra Radha Raman Shantipure Vas Korea Śrīla Advaita Prabhu Pracharit. And sorry, this is going to take too long if I try to go through this. But okay, so Śrīla Advaita's son, Balaram's son, Madhusudan's son, Radharaman, in Shantipur. Okay, so there was somebody named, so that like 3 generations down from Śrī Advaita Acharya, he was so his name is Radharaman. He accepted, he took the shelter of Shri Harihar Bhattacharya. No, I sorry guys, I'm not gonna. Maybe I'll read this later and I can give you all the details here, because it's interesting to see like what all the unfavorable circumstances during Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's time, and then it gives a lot of context. You understand why he's so strong against these certain things. But I don't want to try to translate this right here now. This is a little bit difficult to understand, but I'll go through this later, and then I'll explain it, give some context. Okay, so yet no one dared to speak anything objectionable before Vṛndāvana. Okay, it was quite extraordinary to be so bold in those days. A subtle consideration of bad association. Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura was so unprejudiced that in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, he did not mention his father, even though this defied the prevalent social custom. Yeah, and he was criticized. Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura was criticized. Śrīla Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada explains that they didn't even accept him in the like as part of the Brahmin community, even though Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura is by birth a Brahmin, right? Srivas Thakur is a Brahmin, but they considered him outside the Brahmin community. He mentioned only those relatives who were practicing devotees. For instance, while he did not mention his grandfather, he mentioned his grandfather's brother, owing to his connection with Hari Bhakti. He considered, why waste time mentioning those in whom Hari Bhakti has not awakened? Where there is no connection with Krishna Bhakti, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura exhorts, it is bad association. Similarly, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Dusanga kohiya kaitav atma vanchana, Krishna Krishna bhakti vinu anya kamana. That's from Madhya Lila, Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 24, verse 99. Cheating oneself and cheating others is called kaitava. Associating with those who cheat in this way is called dusanga, bad association. Those who desire things other than Krishna service are called dusanga, bad association. Any desire other than Krishna and Krishna bhakti is dusanga. Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura epitomized this principle throughout his life and exemplified it through his precept. Therefore, Kaviraj Goswami says, Manushe rachite nare aiche granta dhanya Vṛndāvana dāsa mukhe vakta Shri Chaitanya. Yeah, we already read the translation to that. This scripture cannot be written by an ordinary human being. Manushe rachite nare aiche granta dhanya. These words spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, these are the words spoken by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Vṛndāvana Dasa's mouth. Vṛndāvana dāsa mukhe vakta Shri Chaitanya. The glories of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's writings most wonderfully depict the prevalent social conditions as well as the future times. This is especially true of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Originally, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's book was named Sri Chaitanya Mangal, but upon later discovering that Lochan Das Ṭhākura had also named his book Chaitanya Mangal, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura humbly renamed his work as Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat because his work was actually quite voluminous, while Sri Chaitanya Mangal was shorter. We have the Srimad Bhagavat and the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Through his writing, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura expresses that his composition is the fruit of Nityananda Prabhu's inspiration, further asserting how no one can know Bhagavat Tattva, knowledge about the absolute truth, unless Sri Nityananda Prabhu reveals it. He used very simple, comprehensible language, not complicating the contents by including abstruse Sanskrit verses from various scriptures. In order to prevent his work from becoming more voluminous than it already was, he did not elaborate on Sri Chaitanya Dev's later pastimes, that is, after acceptance of sannyas. Moreover, he predicted that Vyasadeva would expand on that in the future. Now look, there's handwritten Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Wow, it's very big letters, huh? Okay. He said, Age Vyas Koribe Varnane. That is, later, Vyasadeva will narrate. So, Mahaprabhu's Sannyas Leela has been narrated by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in two parts, Madhya and Antya, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura included the narration of some of the later pastimes in summary form, whereas Kaviraj Goswami greatly elaborated on them. Yeah, and the end of Madhya Lila, the end of Madhya Kanda of Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura is when Mahaprabhu takes sannyas. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, that's the end of Adi Lila, right? Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura said, Age Vyasa Koribo Varnane, Vistariya Varnite Achen Veda Vyas, meaning that Vyas will do further narration, and Kaviraj Goswami spoke the same words, Satya Kohen, Age Vyas Koribe Varnane. I elaborate on what Vyas has already narrated in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. He said, Chaitanya Lilar Vyas Vṛndāvana dāsa. I do not have such ego that I narrate the pastimes in more detail than my predecessors, but for my own welfare, and to humbly follow the order of Guru Vaishnavas and Haridas, the then Sevite Pujari of Radha Govinda Temple in Vrindavan, who ordered me to narrate the sannyas pastimes of Chaitanya Dev. I am narrating only what Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura left undescribed, so as to not make the scripture unnecessarily voluminous. Therefore, by the study of both Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and by the grace of the Vaishnavas, one can get some idea about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories and pastimes. His style of composition. Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's hallmark was that he composed many verses in Bengali language based on corresponding scriptural verses, bringing out their essence in a manner which was not only appealing, but easy to decode for the general masses as well. The famous Bhagavad Gita verse 922, Ananyas Chintayanto Man, he translated as, Jai Jai Jana Chinte More Anyana Hoyatare. No, sorry, it's not broken up right. Why does that always happen? Okay, Jai Jai Jana Chinte More Ananya Hoya Tare Bhikha Deya Mui Matai Bohiya. I personally carry on my head the needs of any person who thinks of me without deviation. Meaning those devotees who worship me with one pointed devotion, I personally carry upon my head what they need and deliver it to them. And another verse from the Katha Upanishad 1-23, Nayamatma Pravachanena Labhyo, he translated as, Jaditi ho nahi janayen apanare, tabe kar shakti ache janite tahare. Who has the power to know the Lord if he does not reveal himself? Yeah, so anytime there's any Sanskrit verse quoted in Chaitanya Bhagavat, he'll give a very clear, very simple, easy to understand Bengali translation of that verse in verse form. There are so many other beautiful translations he has rendered. Srila Prabhupada, in his Gaudiya Bhashya commentary to Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, cited all the Praman shlokas, all the original verses corresponding to select verses from Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, just to enlighten the masses about the brilliance of Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's contribution. Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura translated the essence of the scriptural verses in the form of those simple prayers, refuting all different ideologies and establishing the supremacy of the Gaudiya ideology in a manner easy to understand. Srila Prabhupada proved how Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's writings were indeed based on scriptures and not merely a figment of his own imagination. Those who read Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat and the foreword to the Gaudiya Bhashya commentary will understand all this. Whoever reads Srila Prabhupada's commentary becomes astounded. Suryakanta Goswami, the Goshai of Sri Banke Bihari from Vrindavan, became astonished upon seeing so many scriptural references being quoted as evidence in the Gaudiya Bhashya, which indicated the depth and vastness of Srila Prabhupada's study of the scriptures. Wow, because we just read recently, where did we read that? That there was huge opposition to Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada from the Banke Bihari temple, from the Goshai of the Banke Bihari temple. I wonder if that's the person before Suryakanta Goswami. And it was so heavy that that was the one temple in Vrindavan that they were not allowed to enter. Like all the, anyways, that was a whole topic that we read about recently.
It was in the past times, Srila Goswami Maharaj.
Oh, yes, that's what it was. Yes, Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj. We were reading about him.
From my beloved master's side.
Okay. Yes. I remember now. So it's interesting that the Goshai of Banke Bihari Ji now became astonished upon seeing so many scriptural references, like it completely different mood. But I wonder if this is probably a later Goswami, I think. I'm guessing. Anyhow, he had composed and printed these books, and that too in a span of just 18 years of his preaching efforts. Suryakanta Goswami said, "How is it humanly possible to study and quote so many references?" He added that he was a mere child when he met Srila Prabhupada. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely then his father was not very favorable, but the son was very favorable. Okay. Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura has nicely explained in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat the evolution of different philosophical doctrines, such as Vishishtadvaitavad, followed by Dvaitavad, and Bhed Abhed, until we arrive at Achinta Bhed Abhed. There are many scriptural evidences to prove the godhood of Sri Chaitanya Dev, but very few about Nityananda Prabhu being Baladev. Although Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura has not quoted scriptural references proving Nityananda Prabhu's identity as being non-different from Baladev. He has composed many beautiful poyas establishing this truth. Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura explained everything in an endearing fashion. He elucidated Nityananda Tattva, that is, the first expansion of the Supreme Lord, with great affection, because without his grace, no one can attain the grace of the Supreme Lord. Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura is Patit Pavan. Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura exhaustively and specially sang the glories of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. His bhajans attracted all and recommended the worship of the lotus feet of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu accepted all types of roles to attract various categories of conditioned souls to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. One of the reasons he enacted the pastime of adorning himself with ornaments was to attract the dacoits. Eventually, those dacoits took shelter of Nityananda Prabhu after repeatedly failing in their attempts to loot him. Yeah, and this pastime is beautifully narrated in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Right? Nityananda Prabhu possesses so much affection for all souls that he cares for them like parents care for their children, sometimes even by beating them for their own good. Can anyone else do such a thing? Once in Shantiniketan, I witnessed a father beating his own child black and blue. Overcome by compassion for that child, I offered the father some money, requesting him to stop beating the child, only to realize later that in beating the child, the father exhibited more compassion than I, because the act of beating was done for the child's ultimate welfare. The father told me, "My son is refusing to study. If I do not control him now, then he will become a fool like me. He'll simply become a mill worker like me and will have to sustain on daily wages or sometimes even starve." At the end, I was left to wonder, was my attempt to relieve the child from being beaten a greater exhibition of compassion than the father beating him? Certainly not. Then why did I go to free that child? Because often one may be deceived with what meets the eye. This principle is presented by Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura. It is inappropriate to judge anything as good or bad merely based on external actions, without assessing the underlying cause behind it. Actually, recently, a senior sannyasi sent me a WhatsApp. Sent a message saying that, he said that please fix all the mistranslations of Lochon Das Thakur's kirtans. At the end, it keeps on saying that he's like going to scorch the face of this person and he's going to do this. And he's like, no, he's saying this all for himself. But I looked at the Bengali, he's definitely not saying it for himself. It definitely says Jeba, one who does not worship my blah, blah, blah. I will, like, it was definitely not a mistranslation. But sometimes, yeah, often one may be deceived with what meets the eye. There's a reason why he's writing like this. He's showing his nishta, and this is his mercy for all of the, yeah. Anyways, there are a few verses also by Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura like that, right? I kick the head of anybody who does not worship my nitai. How big a risk the father had to take to discipline his child for the latter's welfare. Likewise, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, Nityananda Prabhu's direct disciple, sings his glories with folded hands, implores everyone to take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu for their eternal welfare. After extensively glorifying Nityananda Prabhu, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura says, if someone disregards these glories, and instead, if someone blasphemes Nityananda Prabhu, I will kick that person on his head. Externally speaking, such words may sound harsh and far from appealing, but upon deeper consideration, one will realize how they imply adbhut doya, phenomenal compassion. Therefore, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura is addressed as Patit Pavan Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, literally deliverer of the fallen, Patit Pavan. Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura says, despite all my preaching efforts, should any soul remain bereft of the desire for his own eternal welfare, while even having committed offenses against Nityananda Prabhu, then I shall resort to kicking him on the head thereby giving him my foot dust. It is said, Bhakta pada dhuli ar bhakta pada jal, bhakta bhukta avashish, tina mahabhal. That's from Antya Lila, chapter 16, verse 60 of Chaitanya Charitamrita. The dust of the feet of a devotee, the water that has washed the feet of a devotee, and the remnants of food left by a devotee are three very powerful substances that bestow strength in spiritual practices. Subtle coverings upon our heart, though externally invisible, cause obstructions hindering our progress in bhajan. Such obstacles are destroyed by these three transcendental substances, the padaduli, the padajal, and the bhukta avashish, the bhakta bhukta avashish. So the foot dust, foot water, and the remnants, food remnants. But Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura is taking, and then there's also deeper meanings for those substances, right? Like the dust can refer, anyways, that's a whole. The Uchishta is like the Harikatha. The dust can be the followers of the Vaishnava, like that. What's it, Jala then? Anyways. But Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura is taking upon himself this great responsibility of giving his foot dust upon the heads of the conditioned souls for their eternal welfare, just as Nityananda Prabhu had graced Shivananda Sain by kicking him on his head. This analogy is pertinent here with regards to blessing in the form of foot dust. However, Shivananda Sain is not a conditioned soul. He is an eternal associate to the Lord. Yeah, and we always hear, what is it? We glorify Nityananda Prabhu as being Akroda Paramananda Nityananda Rai. Nityananda Prabhu is never angry, but it appears that he was very angry with Shivananda Sain. And so whenever we read scriptures, we have to understand that this is much deeper than, yeah, we have to be careful. Like, we have to understand that this is way beyond me. Just what Srila Bhaktivedanta Bharati Goswami Maharaj was saying above. Right. So, like Nityananda Prabhu, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura is also very compassionate toward the living entities to bestow eternal good upon them in some way or the other. Today is Patit Pavan Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's disappearance day. I offer my humble obeisances at his lotus feet and pray for his causeless mercy. I beg at his lotus feet that by his grace, I may obtain the strength to preach and practice Hari Bhakti as fearlessly as he did. Okay, and so I think the end notes, oh my God, those are very long end notes. It's more than half of what we read, the end notes. So I'm not going to read those end notes there. But it's 7:50. Okay, we have 10 minutes. Maybe we could read, I thought it would be really nice to read, there's an article by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Goswami I really like. Is it Ekādaśī? Does this still work? Shoot. My subscription ended for that. Okay. Oops. One second. Ekādaśī. There it is. I'm going to copy this into Word. Okay, let me just fix the formatting again. Make this what size? 26. And change. Okay. So Srila Bhakti Rakshak Srila Goswami Maharaj says, Ekādaśī is considered to be the favorite day of Krishna when devotees refrain from material activities. Ekādaśī is aprakrit. Aprakrit means which is like prakrit but is supramundane. We are warned that Ekādaśī is not mundane, though it seems to be. Because it is influenced by the moon, Ekādaśī seems to be mundane. The heat of the world and the watery portion of the body increases due to the influence of the moon. just as the high tide and low tide of the ocean are also affected by the moon. As we approach the full moon and the new moon, the watery portion of our bodies is enhanced by the movement of the earth, the moon, and the sun, and thereby the enjoying spirit is also developed. So on Ekadashi, we have more desire to enjoy. So fasting is necessary to meet with that external movement of nature. Fasting can save us from that particular reaction. Fasting has been recommended, and especially if one can't fast at all, then one may take some process of diet that will give less cause for excitement. Therefore, one may take anukalpa, non-grains. Simple like that. We fast to check the senses, because the senses, by the natural flow, become more intense at that time. The result is that one will be excited and want to enjoy, to encroach on the environment. So this unfair encroachment of one's own self is to be controlled. Therefore, this fasting has been recommended. This is one way. So isn't that interesting? On Ekadashi, we have more of a desire to enjoy than on any other day. We take some, so to check that tendency on Ekadashi to want to enjoy even more, we control it. We just cut it off. We take some types of food and not others because they are considered to be less injurious and less exciting to the body. Also, it is mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas that some particular sins are fond of taking shelter in those foods that we reject. Pap means a type of sin that is very fond of taking shelter in grains and those places which we surely want to avoid. First-class fasting means without even taking water, nirjal. Those who cannot do without food may take fruit, roots, and milk. Also, from the spiritual perspective, Krishna himself also feels more. So this is a very interesting thing. We have more desire to enjoy on Ekadashi, but it's not just us. From the spiritual perspective, Krishna himself also feels more necessity for enjoyment. And when Krishna feels more necessity, the devotees have a greater chance to offer service. The time is more valuable for them because Krishna wants to enjoy. And at that time, devotees should be busy to supply the things for his enjoyment. So much so that they won't have any time for their own necessities. So the first reason is to please Krishna. And the secondary reason is that by fasting, we can make our body dry so that our enjoying spirit will be lessened. This is the general explanation. I really love this explanation of Ekadashi. Yeah. So why are we fasting? We're not just fasting for the sake of fasting. We're fasting so that we can give more energy and time to supplying the things for Krishna's enjoyment. And also, by fasting, then our enjoying spirit will be lessened. This is the general explanation. There are so many other things also. Everything is conscious. Everything is personal. And Ekadashi has her own personal character. And she devotes herself with all her company in the service of Krishna. So Ekadashi isn't just a titi. Ekadashi is actually a personality. And she's referred to as Bhakti Janani, right? Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura says, Madhavatiti Bhakti Janani. That means the mother of bhakti. She is the mother of devotion. She does not take any food or anything else, and also does not allow others in her group to take food or waste time, but is always engaged in the service of Krishna. So if we want to be in the group of Tulsi, of Ekadashi Devi, then then she won't allow us, she doesn't allow anybody in our group to take food or waste time. No, if we want to be in the group of Ekadashi Devi, we always have to be engaged in the service of Krishna. We are told that Ekadashi and Dvadashi are favored by Hari. The underlying cause is already explained. Hari will be pleased with any small service performed on these days. So Dwadashi and Ekadashi are both considered the favorite days of Krishna. Ekadashi observance is compulsory. Though Dwadashi is also honored as the favorite of Hari, still Ekadashi has preference. Dwadashi has preference over Ekadashi only in 8 cases determined by the combination of nakshatra, tithi, etc., when we observe Mahadwadashi and not Ekadashi. On Ekadashi and Dwadashi, even a little service gives some greater remuneration. Remuneration means that our serving attitude and our earnestness will be enhanced at that particular time. In a deeper sense, this means that Hari at that time wants to accept more service. That is the fortune of the servitors, that Hari demands more of the servitors. So the importance for the servitors increases at that time during Ekadashi and Dwadashi. He's demanding our service at that time. So we have more opportunity. Okay, oh my God, we have to supply everything he's demanding it. Also on Dwadashi, we do not pick the leaves of Tulsi because it is considered that Tulsi Devi has observed fasting on Ekadashi. It is also noted that service is the first consideration. If I fast and do not take any water, then I may have to lie down and not be able to do any service to the Lord. That is not desirable. So to take anukalpa and do service to the Lord is better. I've actually noticed though, if you're so busy, like you're so engaged, then it's actually easy even to do nirjal. I'll just give you an example. When I'm doing nirjal, I usually at the end of the day I usually vomit. I usually vomit in the morning time. Like on Dwadashi morning after Mangalarti, I usually vomit bile every time I do nirjal. I used to be I used to do it every nirjala Ekadashi. Now I don't. But it used to happen to me again and again. But I went to this lightning in a bottle festival, and there was a prasad booth there, and it was so intense. It's a music festival, and there was a long line of people constantly, and the line never ended, and we were understaffed. There's only like 3 of us mainly working, and so Shrivas and this other guy, the person who was doing it, Govinda, they were constantly busy preparing everything. And I was there putting all the things together. We made tacos and shakes and different things like that. And so I was constantly preparing stuff. And the line never ended. And so I never got a chance to stop and take a break. And so I remember going from first thing in the morning all the way till night. And I realized, oh my God, I just did nirjal. But because I was so focused on preparing everything for everybody constantly, my mind, I was not aware of my body at all. And I did nirjal the whole day. And then finally at nighttime, I took something. But I was like, wow, I did that without trying. I did nirjal. And on Ekadashi, I'm dying. So if we can stay super engaged, very busy, and your mind is distracted, you don't have a chance to think about your body, then it's very easy to fast, actually. Even though, yeah, I'm terrible at fasting. I get very weak, but that's what happens though. In service is better than sitting idly. But now Srila Goswami Maharaj is saying that if you're just going to be weak and well, no, then you shouldn't do nirjal. Yeah, if you're just going to be laying around and oh, I'm dying like that, then no, service is better than sitting idly. So if prasad seva is taken as service, this is best. But at the same time, the individual position of a devotee should be considered. The Sahajiyas do not observe Ekadashi fasting at all. They say, oh, we are in Vrindavan, no fasting here. But Srila Prabhupada did not like this. The Sahajiya, in the name of Krishna Bhakti, goes on feeding the senses. But when necessary for the service of Krishna, to keep up the body, we take prasadam. We don't like that by fasting, the loss of energy may occur. In this way, we honor Ekadashi. If fasting does not hamper our service, we may go on fasting. Once on Janmashtami day, Hayagriva Brahmachari, that later Śrīla Bhakti Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he had to arrange for Prabhupada to go to Mathura in order to observe the Purushottam Mas. Hayagriva was sent one day earlier to hire a suitable house, and that day happened to be Janmashtami. Prabhupada asked his own cook to feed Hayagriva rice on Janmashtami day. He will have to take a tedious journey, and his energy will be wasted. He has an important duty to arrange that house there. That was his order. But Hayagriva hesitated, and the cook also hesitated. Anyhow, he did not take rice on Janmashtami. Instead, he took sabu, tapioca, plantain, and curd. However, if Professor Sanyal had been in such a position, he would have certainly taken rice. He was so much adherent and extremely submissive to Prabhupada's order. He would have said, "Oh, Prabhupada has asked me to take rice. I must take rice." That was his line of thought. But Hayagriva hesitated. No, it is not necessary. I am strong enough. I can do my duty. Also, when Prabhupada wanted to eat something on fasting days, he would take anukalpa. My Guru Maharaj felt that you will get the maximum energy if you take good food and do good service. That was his maxim. Krishna is not a liquidated party. Take full prasadam and do full service. Whatever is necessary, take it for the cause of Krishna, not for your own cause. You are Krishna's. So if you grow weak and your service is hampered, then you will be the loser. Better that my soldiers are well fed and working well. That was my Guru Maharaj's principle. Yes, so it is best if we can do Nirjal, but if doing Nirjal means that we're just going to be lying around just like, I can't do anything, then better no, take full prasad and do full service. All right, so maybe we can end by singing Shuddha Bhakata Charana Renu. No, let's end by, if anybody needs to leave now, I know it's getting late, but since today is Ekādaśī and Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's appearance day, I think we should sing Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's words describing how Mahaprabhu himself observed Ekādaśī. Huh?
Shri Hari Vasare.
Yes, Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidan. This is what is sung in all the Gaudiya Mats on Ekādaśī day. It's an excerpt from the 8th chapter of Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Lila. Sorry, Madhya Kanda. Okay, so, but yeah, I know it's like it's already 8 o'clock. It's already been an hour. So if anybody needs to leave, that's totally fine. Dandavat pranams. For anybody who wants to stay longer, we're going to go through Shri Hari Vasari Hari Kirtana Vidan. Nritta Arambila Prabhu Jagate Pram. Where is it? Big text. There it is. I noticed in other Gaudiya Mat songbooks, it's a lot shorter. But in my Param Gurudev's Bengali Gaudiya Giti Gucha, he gave like more than twice as many verses for this song. Shri Hari Vasare. It is. And they're just like all verses from all over the place, all mixed up. You can see I gave the Chaitanya Bhagavat verse on the side there so that you can see which verse is being quoted. Okay. Maybe I will, wait, I have to turn off noise suppression. 1 second. Okay. Maybe I'll make this text a bit bigger so that you can read the translation more easily. God. I have this weird thing. Anyways, I have this weird glitch in Word. There. Okay, I think that's clear enough, right? Okay. 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 So maybe what I'll do is I'll read 2 verses. I'll read the translation of 2 verses, and then I'll sing the Bengali for 2 verses. Yeah. Okay, so on Ekādaśī, after decreeing Hari Kirtan, Mahaprabhu, who is the life and soul of the universe, begins to dance in ecstasy. In the courtyard, wait 1 second. There, okay. In the courtyard of the virtuous Srivas, the auspicious sounds of Kirtan, Gopal, Govinda, reverberates loudly. Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidana Nrita Arambila Prabhu Jagatera Pran Punyavanta Shiva Sayangane Shubharamba Uthilo Kirtana Dvani Gopala Govinda. The sounds of the mridanga, mandira, and conch, and karatal all blend nicely with the Sankirtan. The thunderous sound penetrates the universe, filling the whole sky. Everything inauspicious in all 4 directions is annihilated. Mridanga mandira baje shanka karatala Sankirtana shange saba hoilo mishala Brahmanda bhedilo dvani puriyaya kasha Chodikera amangala jai sabanash. At dawn, Vishwambar dances while the kirtan groups formed sing charmingly. One group is with Srivas Pandit, and many others sing with Mukunda Datta. Ushakala hoite nritta kore Vishwambara Juta juta hoilo jata gayana sundar Srivasa Pandita loya eka sampradaya Mukunda loya arjana kotagai. So one group is with Srivas Pandit and many others sing with Mukunda Datta. There are many more with Govinda Ghosh. As Gaura Chandra dances, everyone performs kirtan. Oh loya Govinda Ghosh ar koto jana Gaura Chandra nritte sabe kore na kirtan. The mighty Nityananda Prabhu holds onto Mahaprabhu and gently strokes him, while Advaita Acharya secretly takes his foot dust. Their eyes brimming with tears, Gadadhar and others become overwhelmed in transcendental happiness due to Mahaprabhu's kirtan. Doriya bole na Nityananda Mahabali Alakhite Advaita loyen padaduli Gadadharadi jata sajala nayane Anande vivala hoilo prabhura kirtane. When Vishwambar dances with great force, the earth trembles and everyone becomes afraid. Jokona udanda nache Prabhu Vishwambara Prithvi kampita hoy sabe pai dar. Sometimes Vishwambar dances so sweetly that he appears to be the son of Nanda, the best of dancers. Kokono va madura nachaye Vishwambara jeno deki nandera nandana natavara. Their eyes filled with joy, Mahaprabhu's servants observe his unprecedented love for Sri Krishna and his incomparably beautiful dancing. Aparupa Krishna Vesha Aparupa Nrita Anande Nayana Bhori Deke Sababrita. Mahaprabhu Vishwambar dances, rejoicing in his own transcendental happiness. The rhythmic sound of his lotus feet is extremely captivating. Nijanande Nache Mahaprabhu Vishwambara Charanera Tala Shuni Ati Manohar. Under the weight of his ecstatic emotions, his garland is unable to remain around his neck. Breaking apart, it falls at the feet of the devotees. Bhava bare mala nahi rahoye kalaya Chindiya paraye giya bhakatera pai. The auspiciousness of Shri Harinam Sankirtan spreads in all four directions as the son of Jagannath Mishra dances in the midst of the devotees. Chaturdike Shri Hari Mangala Sankirtana Maje Nache Jagannatha Mishra Nandan. Okay, I'm going to read a few translations here. Absorbed in the bliss of Shri Hari's name, Shiva becomes oblivious to his own clothing. He whose glories impel Shiva to dance in ecstasy also dances himself. By his name, Valmiki achieved the wealth of austerity, and by his name, Ajamil received deliverance. By hearing his name, the bindings of the material world are destroyed. That Lord, having descended, dances in the age of Kali. His name is chanted by Shukadev and Narad as they wander about. His glories are sung by the Lord of innumerable mouths, Sri Anantadev. His name constitutes the highest form of atonement. That Lord dances, while those who are supremely fortunate look on. Jar nama nande Shiva vasana na jane. Jar jashe nache Shiva she nache apane. Jar name Valmiki hoila tapodhana. Jar name Ajamilo pailo mochan. Jar nama Shravane samsara bandha goche. Heno Prabhu avatari Kali juge nache. Jar nama gai shuka narada bedai. Sahasra vadana Prabhu jar guna gai. Sarva mahaprayashchitta je Prabhura nama. She Prabhu nachaye dekhe jato bhagyavan. Seeing Mahaprabhu's transcendental bliss, the associates of the Lord embrace each other and weep. Prabhur Ananda Deki Bhagavata Gana Anyonye Galadhori Koroye Grandana. Sandal paste and garlands grace everyone's bodies. They sing in great bliss, forgetting their own selves due to immersion in Krishna Ras. Sabarayangete Shobe Shichandana Mala Yanande Gayan Krishna Rase Hoi Bhola. Entranced in Kirtan, all the Vaishnavas lose complete sense of their own bodies and of everyone around them. Jatika Vaishnava Sab Kirtana Aveshe Na Jane Apana Deha Anya Jana Kise. Delighted, everyone sings day and night. What do they sing? Oh Jai Krishna Murari Mukunda Vanamali Aharnisha Gai Sabe Hoi Kutuhali. Day and night, Vishwambar dances with the devotees, but they never become fatigued because their bodies are fully transcendental. Aharnisha Bhakta Shange Nache Vishwambara Shanti nahi karo sabe sattva kalevar. In such a manner, Mahaprabhu Vishwambar dances the entire night, except for one prahar, during which he sleeps. Emate nache Mahaprabhu Vishwambara Nishi avashesha matra she eka prahara. In this way, transcendental happiness arises in the land of Navadvip, as the hero of Vaikuntha sports in Prem Ras. E mata ananda hoi Navadvipa pure, Prem Rase Vaikunter Nayaka Vihare. Gaurachandra and his associates remain in the hearts of those who hear this entire auspicious description. Esha kala punya katha je kore shavana Bhakta Shange Gora Chandre Rahutaraman. Wow. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Chanda Jana Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura Juge Gana. Vṛndāvana dāsa offers the song at the lotus feet of Shri Krishna Chaitanya and the moonlight Nityananda. Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidana. Shri Hari Vasare Hari Kirtana Vidana. Nritta Arambila Prabhu Jagatera Prana. Nritta Arambila Prabhu Jagatera Prana. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Hari Vasar Jaya Ekādaśī, Hari Vasar Jaya Ekādaśī, Jai Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari, Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari, Jai Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jai Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura, Vṛndāvana dāsa. Jaya Bhakti Janani Jaya Ekādaśī, Bhakti Janani Jaya Ekādaśī. Jaya Gurudeva Jai, Gurudeva, Gurudeva Jai, Gurudeva. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur, Hari Bol. Jai Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura ki Jai, Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai, Jai Mahaprabhu's observance of Shri Hari Vasar ki Jai, Shri Aparā Ekādaśī Titi ki Jai. Alright, I guess I'll do a shortened Jai Dvani because it's very late. 1 second, let me just put this down. Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai, Jai Jai Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki Jai, Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jai Srila Param Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai, Swapashad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gana ki Jai, Shri Harina Jai Shri Patit Pavan Shriman Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai, all the associates of Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai, the Dwadash Gopals ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura ki Jai, Chaitanya, what is it? Chaitanya Leela Vyas Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura ki Jai. Is it Uchishta Bhajan? No, Mahaprabhu Uchishta Bhajan, Shrimati Narayani Devi ki Jai, Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Shri Mamgachi ki Jai, Dhenuda ki Jai. That's where Shripat is, I think, right? Shri Harinam, the Gaur Nitai Vigraha that he worships, that Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura worships ki Jai, Jai Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai, Swapashad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Shri Aparā Ekādaśī Titi ki Jai, Jai Śrīla Vṛndāvana dāsa Ṭhākura's appearance day ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Oh, and Jai Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj ki Jai, who gave us so many wonderful Hari Katha for all the appearance days and disappearance days of our acharyas. Jai Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. All right, Dandavat Pranams everybody. And Jai Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, and his Gaudiya Bhashya commentary illuminating Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Hari Bol. All right. Vanchakalpatarubhyashta kripa sindhubhye vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. Satya Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, Nari Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Shubhananda Prabhu, Archana Didi, Champak Mataji, Indira Mataji, Manjulali Didi, Anjali Didi, Sridevi Didi, Shruti Goranga Didi, and let's see, Kishore Prabhu, Vidyalalasa Didi, Pradyumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, and everybody else watching. There's a lot of other people, but I don't see your names because you didn't write a comment. But pranams to all of you. Hare Krishna. All right, so before we end our program for today, does anybody have anything that they want to mention? Wait, let me look at the comments really quick. No, nothing in the comments. Oh, Vidya Lalasadi is asking, what's this melody called? I don't know. Like, the melodies don't generally have names, but it's like a very common, like one of the most common evening melodies, like Goranga bolite have pulaka sharira. Hari Hari Bo. So that melody, I don't know what you'd call it. But were you about to say something?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
And pranams. Will you be going to Mamgachi today?
Oh God, I'd love to go to Mamgachi. I could, maybe. The thing is, I have a really intense schedule right now because we're making.
If you do go, please pray for us.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's a chance I'll go, but yeah. If I wasn't so busy, I would be a no-brainer. I've gone other years, but now I have a lot of work to do. But yeah, if I do go, I'll definitely pray for you. I'll remember you. And if I do end up going, then I will send videos also in our WhatsApp group. But I'll see.
Jai. Thank you so much.
All right, so that is our program for today. And so tomorrow we will continue on with our Bhakti Vinod Giti Thara program. Yeah. I think we're going through a song. Prabhu He, what is it? Suno More Saram Ki Baat, or something like that. Yeah. All right. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranams.